Another nice simple one, another real easy one here. I've been waiting to do this for a little while. People who viewed the stream before were there live when I took this grandma gravedigger shell off of a Monster Jam Spin Master toy, and I think I want to design my chassis to go underneath that. So we're gonna call that the stream for the supercharger tractor. I'm gonna bail out of that. That's saved. Or we're gonna once again say create new 3D design. And this is great. I can split this stream up into two uploads on YouTube because no one wants to watch both. Will we get a PVV pull tractor? Yo, I have wanted to have like do this basically this design with multiple engines and everything, the whole thing, the big beautiful fenders, but make this little guy that sits here, make him a PVV. I absolutely think I'm going to do it. I think I'm finally going to do it. I don't know how many of them will sell, but because I can make them to order, it's fine. Again, this goes back to something I've said a lot of times about my toy making is that I sort of made the active decision that my designing, I could design any toy I wanted for me. I could paint any toy I wanted for me to sell because even if I wasn't selling them, I would be doing it on my own for fun. It's the reason that I have things like this little custom Bigfoot. That was for me. That's not for anybody else. That's for me. So like designing one that's got a little Perry on it that I can have on the merch table at wrestling shows, like feels like a bit of a no-brainer. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop to the big camera here and give my little intro on this project. So I have this body from the Grandma Gravedigger that was released by Spin Master. It's a really nice piece of work. I love all the little details. It does feel like old school Gravedigger. I love, the old school front on it and everything. And then I also have my custom supercharger chassis that I work from, which is designed to look just like the old Matchbox Supercharger trucks. And essentially, I'm just looking for a way to kind of join the two cleanly. And so I use these on the bottom. You can see it has these two little pegs on the rear. There's sort of a little peg in the middle that I've had to grind down to remove it from the original chassis. And there's this little front peg here. And I use those as my connection points when I put this on a chassis. So that's kind of what we're looking for here. And I often design it in two parts so that I can have like a little chassis that'll a little like interior, a cab. So right now what I'm doing just behind my giant head here, I'm copying my sort of base chassis so that I have something to work from. All right, and now I'm going to go ahead and shrink myself down so we can follow along and see what we're doing here. All right, so this is my basic superchargers chassis, and I am going to make some changes here. First thing I'm doing, I'm going to delete the rear axle entirely. I'm going to come to this front axle, just take care of this right off the bat. I had added these covers because it prints really cleanly. You can see it in the corner here. That prints real clean. Um, and I do that for my Perry monster trucks that I sell. But it's not the cleanest look if I'm making my own little replicas. So let's go ahead and actually, you know what? I'm gonna try something a little different. I'm gonna see if I make this shorter to like, yeah, to like there. That's gonna be fine for me, I think. And usually I would copy that over to the other side, like full on duplicate, but I'm just gonna make it close enough. Again, this is one for my collection, so if it's not exact, that's my problem. All right, so I think we're good on that rear axle. So I'm gonna go ahead and all except for that chassis, I'm gonna select all, I'm gonna group it. Hey, Joey Nails coming in hot on a Tuesday night. What's up, bud? How's it going? All right, so we got that grouping. Always takes a second, and that's fine. For right now, though, I want to size this chassis so that the spacing on this gravedigger body is gonna be just right. And the way I do that uh, is I go ahead and I kind of just, you'll see in the corner here what I'm doing. I hold the body up and I take my calipers and I just figure out how far do I want the center of each axle to be? Like what's the distance between them? And that's probably about where I want it. Let's call it about there. 52.5. I'm going to see, is 52 even look good? I think 52 even's good. Oh, Bobby Gilbert's got the ad. So this needs to be ungrouped. And now you can see all the individual parts I made for that. And I'm going to go ahead and real quick, I'm going to drop in essentially a spacer block. We decided 52 was a good distance between the two. So I'm going to say 5.2. Make this real skinny so that I can see around it easy. Ooh, and I'm going to need to make it tall. Make it nice and tall. That's our spacer block, right? And I'm kind of going just center of axle is more or less what I'm looking at here. So about there. So you can see it's not long enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here and grab all of this. And then I got to deselect a bunch of things. Got to deselect that. Got to deselect that. And then I'm going to keep that drive shaft selected. And I'm just going to scooch over to where about centered. That looks good to me. I'm going to go ahead and stretch this so that it comes up past the front. I feel good about that. Now I'm going to get rid of the spacer block. And now we see this drive shaft piece is not connecting anymore. So I'm going to zoom way in on that. And I'm just going to bring it on up till we have connection. Good, good solid connection there. Feel good about that. All right, we're looking good. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about width now and see if we have to make any alterations there. Um, Actually, you know what? As I hold this over this, that width to that body looks really good. I don't even mind the ride height on that. That looks pretty cool. Wow. Yeah. So we're looking pretty good on that. Might want it to ride up a little higher than that. I don't know. Is that too tall? Is that too short? I think it actually might be okay. I think it's going to be okay. Yeah, that looks nice. All right, cool. So now we just got to make our spacing and the pegs and everything. So what I'm going to do first, I have some interesting artifacts in this design that I'm seeing, but well, we won't worry about that right now. First thing I'm going to do is well, yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll take that and we'll take that and I'm going to control D. I'm going to move it over here and we're going to use that as the plate for the top. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lose that. Take this piece that I'm going to turn dark gray. Oh, you know what I'm going to do first though? First I'm going to select all, deselect that axle, and we're going to regroup that chassis. Okay, Bobby Gilbert says it looks just right. All right, I just caught that in the chat. All right, we're gonna make this like a really light gray, kind of get the look of what's happening here. Now I'm gonna go ahead and duplicate that, bring it forward. We're gonna have to take a careful look and make sure it's lined up the way we want it. We can't have it touching any of the chassis. Ooh, that's hard to say. Well, you know what? We'll get the above view. Yeah, Let's back it up just to, oh, we got to change our increments. We're set to 1 millimeter per button tap. Go right in the middle there, and that should have us nice and clear. Yeah, that's looking good. All right, cool. So that's our top kind of made. Although interestingly, if that's the front, I think my tires are pointed the wrong way, are they? No, they're pointed the right way. Okay, we're good. We're good. Sorry, everyone. I've been looking at these 3D designs for a while now, and my brain's starting to see things. All right, we're gonna take this. This is gonna be the base plate for the top of Gravedigger here, and yeah, I think the placement of that hole is a little bit forward. We're gonna bring it back just a hair. Actually, am I even? Yeah, you know what we're gonna have to do? We're gonna have to line the two up again. Get our bottom view here, because I just want to get the spacing on that just right. It's literally just that one part that I'm looking at, because I want that to be just behind that front wheel. So let's go ahead and we're gonna say like right there. It's about where I want that. Okay, we're cool. Everything's good. So let's go ahead and grab that piece, and we are gonna move it way the heck out of Dodge. Get it out of everyone's way there. Okay, and now we're thinking of this upright here. So that hole can stay right like it is. I think I might want to go a little thicker on the plate for that. So one of the interesting things here that I have an opportunity to do is these old gravediggers had rear engines. He was one of the first monster trucks outside of the original the Awesome Kong trucks to have a rear engine. So when this is mounted, there's going to be some visibility in the back. You can see it. You can see me looking through. And I think we could probably put a little engine there. We got some leeway with that. And let's see. We gotta get the distance for the little slots to hide in there. So first things first, we gotta size this up the way we need it. We're gonna call this, I want it to be just one little square instead of two. Okay, so the width on those is like an 8.5. We're going to give it an extra millimeter just in case. We call it like a 9.5. So we'll make that about a 9.5 wide. And then for length, it's actually pretty short. 4.5. We'll make it 5. Again, I like to have a little bit of wiggle room. Right, and that should fit those. Now we just need the distance between these. Let's go ahead and get our top view about here. Put that guy about there, and then we'll zoom way in. Bring them on down, get them nice and centered. Okay, this guy's looking a little oblong to me. Why is that? That's why he is oblong. There, that's better. Oh, I gotta check that sizing on that too. This is okay. That's good size. Good size. It's already sized from a previous project, I think. All right. So the distance between these then is going to be 52 and a half. So we're going to back that up. like 52 since I added some extra stuff to it. All right. Okay, I can't get it on screen, so we're gonna have to zoom out some more. Now we'll back it up about 52. Is it gonna go off the back? Yeah, it is. All right. Well, that's good to know because this goes pretty much right to the back. So we'll want to make this just a little bit longer. Yeah, we'll call it like something like right there. As far as that front, how far off that front do we want to go? I'm sure this is just enthralling to watch, but I'm having a nice time. We'll call it off the front like 10. So with that length, it's 63 or 64. Bring it up to like make it like 70, 73 even. That's going to be pretty good sizing, I think. I'm even going to just round the edges on this just a hair. Gives me a little wiggle room for everything, makes everything look a little cuter. Um, all right, what length do we decide on this? Because I'm going to have to make the other piece match now. 73.1. Ooh, yeah, we're going to have to make that a bit longer. Actually, I don't think we do. I think it's going to be fine as is. It's going to sit right where I want it. Yeah, I actually think that's going to be fine. It's just going to bloop right in there. So on the back here is where we can put our little engine. We got a lot of space for it too. So the question is, do I and I'll put it to the chat. We got some folks in watching, hanging out. Do I custom design a little engine for this, or do I hop over to Thingiverse real quick and download something that's pre-made? What do we think? Get a consensus from everybody. Pre-made engine or something that I design? Bobby says design. I had a feeling he'd feel that way, and I don't blame him. I think we're even going to have some little, probably going to have some exhaust. We'll have the zoomies come out the sides just a little. I don't want to have them go up too high because they'll cover up where it says Gravedigger. So we'll have them kind of stop shy of that. I think we can do that pretty easily. Yeah. All right. So let's first get kind of a vague idea. Yeah, okay. Austin says design it custom too. I know. It's the right call. So we'll get a little bit of a like how big we kind of want this to be. It looks like there's a lot of space on the inside here, so I can get away with at least wow, at least like probably 17 millimeters, which is not not insignificant. Yeah, we'll go with that. That seems pretty good. So we are going to start with, I like using this shape when I kind of start on these. So we're gonna start there. We're gonna let's see, let's crank it that way. Yeah, we'll go about that way. And now we're gonna give it 17. And we can go pretty tall on this too while it's still being seen. We're talking, I mean, the visible parts are going to be almost 8 millimeters tall. And we can even go taller and it'll still be okay. So let's see, let's make this go about a 6. And as for the width, we're going to do that by eye. This is where we get to be this is where we get to be artistes. I'm going to clear a little space so I can bring my keyboard over here and get a better look. I want to be able to see what I'm doing while I work. All right. So we're gonna bring this over. We're gonna bring it on back. Some like we'll let it bump into the opening just a little. And now I want to bring it up. We're gonna zoom way in on it. We're gonna stretch it just a little bit taller and then let it come sink just into that right there, just where it sinks into the piece so that it'll all become one thing. And now let's see. I don't want to go full width on this. I want to go like something like here. Something like that. And then we'll center it, which is going to be about there. Feel good about that. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Okay, and then we're gonna make a copy of that, bring it up a bit higher, bring it in on both sides a ways. Let's get a top view here, get it centered again, somewhere like right about there. All right, feel good on that, feel good. It's looking okay to me. So now I'm trying to think if I want to get like, I want to get crazy creative and do something a little wacky. Yeah, why not? All right, we're actually gonna shorten this back a bit. I come right to the front here, and let's go ahead and get one of these. Bring that about there. Right. Whoa, okay. All right. All right. Careful, guy. We need sides. That's what we need. Wall thickness all the way up. You can bevel this down a little bit. Bevel segments. Ooh, fancy. All right. And then some of you might recognize what I'm going for here. Going for those the drive belts that are on the front of you often see them on the supercharged engines kind of just out and about. Something like this. Just a little detail that again, no one else is going to see. Like it's not going to be super visible. Um, but I kind of like that just on the front there. And then we can even make a copy of that. Bring it down to about there, bring it up, bring it forward. Make it a bit smaller, bring it a bit further forward. We'll move it on up. There, and now we sort of have like a bit of a mock of those sort of, the front belts that you see on some of these engines. Just a little bit of silliness here. I'm just trying to, anything I can do to add a little realism. All right. Now we gotta put a header on here. And I tend to use this guy. Let me see. Is there a shape that I like better? I guess he's still the one. Actually, I'm gonna get rid of that. Make a copy of that. We're going to bring it up more. I'm going to make it shorter in basically all directions. Let's get it centered. Well, actually, it didn't come out of center too bad. We can go a little bit wider on it. We can go about to here. New Tony Hawk Pro Skater game is getting announced next week. Wait, if it's getting announced next week and you know about it already, doesn't that sort of mean it's already been announced? Like, is it being announced next week or has it already been announced, right? Like, what are we doing? Ooh, you know what? You know what else I'm gonna do? I'm gonna bring this guy in here, bring him over on this engine, raise it up to about there, bring it to about here. Gonna add a little radius just to, again, I'm just adding some weird shapes going on here. I like a little bit of some strangeness just so we can see this scoop a little bit better. And let's go ahead and take this guy. We're going to group just those. Right, cool. Bring that back. Drop it down to like here. Yeah, that's looking pretty cool. Yeah, oh, I'm feeling good about that. Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna bring that down to like here. Make it a bit more narrow. Cool. Even gonna just a little there. The official Tony Hawk Pro Skater Twitter account made a post with a picture of Tony Hawk saying 3/4/25. I mean, unless they're using British dates, in which case that'll be the 3rd of April. So maybe it'll be longer. Maybe they're British. We don't know. We don't know what their deal is. All right, we'll crank up the sides on that. Add a bit of a bevel on this because I've grown to enjoy the bevel. I think it's cool looking. And then we're gonna shrink it way down. We're gonna pop it 90 degrees. Bring it on over here. Bring it up. Let's get a view from the side because these are going to be sort of the fronts to this header. About there, about there. Probably go like here, bring it up a bit more. Yeah, that's looking good. Oh boy, I'm getting all kinds of monster truck follows after that podcast earlier. For those who may have missed it, earlier today I was on the Unprofessional Wrestling podcast, which was very cool. I had a great time, and it's hosted by Travis, who is one of the main guys working over with the fine folks at Monster Truck Throwdown. Okay, let's put this here. We're definitely going to do a third one, but then let's kind of even them out here. Get a nice centered view. Get them centered here. I almost feel like the top of this header is a little bit tall, but maybe it's okay. Let's see, how's that? Is that going to be? That's going to be noticeable. I think that'll look good. Good. All right, well, let's go ahead and group all of that. Make our little engine. Turn it a bit of a gray. There we go. We got the beginning of our engine. I think we need a little more detail on it though, for sure. Go ahead and ungroup and we're going to add some more. Yo, how did you get lucky? I didn't get lucky. I'm the human monster truck. They had to have me on. No luck there. That's just who I am. All right, so I need, there is a pipe tool in here. We're going to drop that bad boy in here and we're going to start working from that. So let's go ahead and wall thickness. We need to just fill it in. Let's go ahead and bring it over here and let's start reorganizing. I want to go there and there. And then we got to shrink this whole thing down considerably. Bring it here. Get us all zoomed in. Right about there is where I want to be. Are we floating off the ground? What are we doing? Oh, we're subterranean. I see. Right, we're going to come up to about there. Yeah, that's about what I'm looking for. I think that looks cool. We're going to stretch it a little bit wide. Coming out enough? Yeah, we're coming out enough. All right, we're going to go ahead and Command D that. We're going to go to about there. Then we're going to go boom, boom. Yeah, now we're talking. We're going to equally stretch the whole thing, I think. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, we're cooking now. All right. Let's get our top view. Deselect, then we're gonna select, select, select. Command D. Gonna flip them horizontal. And we're just gonna bring them on over till they're even on the other side. Something like about there. I think looks pretty good. Yeah. All right. I'm feeling good about that. Okay, Bobby. Bobby picking on me in the chat. Hey, just remember, I've done almost no swears. I've done very good, very well. All right, let's get a look at this. Now, the way this is supposed to sit, and this is the one part that you don't really get to see on here so much. The way this is going to sit is going to be like right there somewhere. So we're going to have the blowers coming out. And this is about the same width. Yeah, they can come out and up just a bit there. Let's get my micrometer, get an idea of what we're looking at here. So we're going to want to go from that edge. Like a good 8 millimeters out if we want it to not be a problem. So what do we think? Do we want zoomies coming out the side, or do we think this looks good if it's just tucked up and in there? What do you think? Do we want some zoomy headers coming out the side of the truck, or do we want to just leave the engine as is? Okay, come up just a little bit proud of that. There we go. You think it looks good? I think it looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. Okay, but Austin says zoomies. See, it's a tough call. It's a tough call on Gravedigger because I'm looking at some reference images here. Let's pull up like a classic reference image of Grandma Gravedigger and see what we think. So what I'm seeing is no zoomies coming out. So I'm kind of thinking we need to leave it as is. But we should make like a cab or something. We need to have something here like some kind of like driver compartment because the window on this gravedigger is pretty substantial. Like I can look through it at you. So I think we're gonna need something in there for sure. And let's see. I'm gonna start putting some spacer blocks in. We're gonna do some spacing here. Get this all just right. Right. The beginning of the compartment can go about 9 millimeters back. 9 millimeters back, and we got until that post 13.89 millimeters to work with. Call it 13.5. Oh, it went the wrong way. Ugh. Okay, well, let's bring it back up to the edge here and let's get that number again. It was like 9 or something. Yeah, we're gonna call it 9. All right, we're working on a little bit of a cab area to go here. Call that about our working space. And then as far as height goes, we gotta measure the depth here. We're assuming it's gonna sit about there, give or take. So like, eh, I guess it's like 16 millimeters. I don't know. It's probably pushing it a little bit. Well, what the heck? Let's go crazy. Let's give it a shot. So that's sort of our working space right there. That's going to be our, and I'm even going to bring the edges in just a little bit, just in case. We're going to call that our working space for the cab on Gravedigger. I am going to let the back seat go to this post though, and we'll let it go around the post. So there's going to be, let's go ahead and Control D. Make it like 8 longer, so we'll call it 21. Okay, and then we'll bring it to about there. Even like there. Even there, I think is good. All right, and we're gonna do one of my favorite tricks to make the back of the cherry is gonna sit in. Now this doesn't have to be full height. We actually are gonna want this to go down like here-ish somewhere. And we're gonna go ahead and unclick, click, Control D, make this much shorter. And then we're going to radius it. Lose this. Delete. That's too much radius. Too much radius. Yeah, just a soft radius like that. Good. Control D. Get our top view here. We're going to move over to like right there. And then boom, 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 boom. Fill in all the way across. In fact, I'm going to lose that last one. And now we're going to select all these and just center this pile here. All right, Austin, thanks for hanging out, bud. Take it easy. Glad to have you. Come back again. I'm going to call that the back of the seat. And now I'm going to bring this forward. We're going to make this his little dash. radius it down. Drop our height considerably because it's only going to need to go to like there. Perfect. Now I'm going to copy that. Control D. We're going to 90 degrees that baby. Make it nice and short. Drop it down a little bit into the bottom there. Bring it forward. Bring it forward. I'm going to bring it all the way till it touches because no one's going to see that detail anyway. Now we just got to throw a little steering wheel in there. And for that, I like to use this guy. Okay, we're going to fill it on up there. There we go. Turn it into a bit of a solid disc. Give it a jaunty little steering wheel angle. Let's get our height good. Placement good. Move that all the way up till it's in that dashboard. I do like it off center. I'm not going to put them in the middle. That wouldn't have been era appropriate, you know? Let's go ahead and drop it on down. Bring it back to about there. And we're even going to shrink him down just a little bit more. There we go. That's really, we can make him a little deeper than that. Make it a little bit more visual. All right, and that's going to be our steering wheel. Nice and attached, all kind of one piece there. I believe I have a driver that I previously downloaded. And I'm going to see if I can't locate that. Let's see here. I believe I had a little driver that we used before. Yeah, there he is. All right, so we're going to go ahead and import. It's going to take just a minute here, but then we're gonna drop him in. He's going to be our Dennis Anderson. Oh, nope. I saw buckle up mail and assumed it was a driver. In reality, it is the buckle for a fanny pack, but it's the male end of that piece. Let's see. Oh, do I not have it anymore? Oh, it's possible that I don't. Well, that's okay. It's going to be in one of our other designs, so I'm just going to go ahead and pull it from one of those rather than trying to go find it and download it. Let's get back to our gallery. Our projects. No, I want my projects. Come on. Shoot name on the screen. There we go. And let's see, the last one we were working on together here was the Avenger chassis. We're going to load that up and steal our driver out of that. Boy, there's a lot of parts to this Avenger. Oh, we're going to take the helmet too. Yeah, we're going to take that helmet for sure. All right, it's going to take a second to load all of its parts, it seems. But in the meantime, we can go ahead and we need a little post in the middle here for this larger post in this body. Let's get a top view. We're going to select that, Command D. and bring it back into the seat. I'm just going to expand it because I know it needs a good bit of room there. Right, that looks pretty good. Yeah, feel good about that. That's going to have enough space, some wiggle room for that center pole. I don't want it to be too tight of a fit and end up not being able to go on there. Yeah, boy, that rear engine is going to look massive. I'm digging that. For now, though, I'm going to go ahead and flip this thing up and around just so we get a better visual on the way out the door here. All right, we're getting there. Still loading. We can see our little driver, though. It's going to take a minute because we had a lot of pieces grouped for this. All right, Bobby, sounds good, my friend. Thank you so much. Boy, when I get done here, I still got to work out. We might have to cut soon. It's getting late, and I got to get down in a cold basement and lift weights. Ugh. You know what? I might even leave this without a driver. He doesn't need a driver, right? He can be an empty seat there. Go ahead and group that whole mess. Go ahead and close the Avengers there. Now I'm gonna make this a ever so slightly darker gray than that other one. Get a nice view of this here. Bring it up to height. And I believe we're gonna line it up somewhere like that. The rear is gonna be I gotta make sure this is lined up right for my liking. It's not gonna matter. This is just for the thumbnail. Yeah, I think that actually is about right. Let's go ahead and get our view on this side and bring this thing on in here. There we go. Oh, it's even up a little bit high. Look at that. We're going to call that our little grave digger. I think it's looking pretty good. Change the color on these so that they read a little better on camera. Change that one to like a white. Yeah, I think we're looking pretty good. All right. And with that, we're going to call it a stream, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I can't wait to print these up and see how they turn out. And of course, I'll be painting them on stream at some point and doing some assembly. So that'll be a lot of fun. I really enjoy doing these toy making streams with all of you. So thanks for checking it out. And yeah, I will be back again next week, if not sooner, with more streams every Monday and Tuesday, 9 p.m. here on twitch.tv/Perry Von Vicious. If you're on YouTube, again, like, subscribe, share with a friend. It really helps me out. Anyhow, thanks for hanging out. We will catch you all soon. Actually, I'm going to raid Johnny Torres while I'm here. That's what we're going to do. We're going to raid Johnny Torres. I have no idea who's left in the chat here, so it's possible it's just me raiding, but I'm open to that. All right, we're jumping over to Johnny Torres' stream. Thanks for hanging out, guys. See you soon.